Hey man, what's good gang? It's your boy NerdFnd here. We're back with another amazing one. In today's video, this was actually a request. So if you wanna request video ideas, comment down below. But anyway, today's video is I'm gonna be showing you all how to make melodies, an easy way to make melodies, and to keep the beat alive with melodies and movement sounds that can counter melodies that can make the beat move and not your beat playing and stuff. Sometimes it's good to have a plain beat, but yeah, I'm gonna show you all tips on how to add melodies and how to actually make melodies blend in with the song. Cause sometimes you might add a sound and that sound might not correspond with that. So yeah, with that being said, first thing first, as you can see, I have a blank thingy and I'm gonna break down how each of these melodies I made them and how I'm gonna also share the thought process behind these melodies so that you can understand and get the formula on how you can apply this concept on any beat, because like the concept that I'm using literally gets applied to any type of beat. That's why some people say I'm versatile. Shout out to, I just saw his comment right now, shout out to Freakish5481. That's why I'm able to become versatile and stuff, because I use the same concept and I applied on the same beat, and I'm going to be sharing with you all that tip or trick in a second. So yeah, with that being said, let me make these melodies and then I'm going to break it down after I made them. Danko. Okay, so right now I just made two melodies and counter melodies. So I'm gonna break down each melody and tell you how you can go about making this kind of stuff. It's literally the same process. Okay, let me break it down for you all now. So what you need is a main melody, and your main melody, in the Amapiano space, in the Amapiano genre, when making Amapiano, it's usually your bass line or your chord progression. Nah? So you need a main melody, which is a bass line or a chord progression. So let's start with this one. This is my main melody, which is the bass line. It's usually the simple part, the part that you normally start the beat with. So it's kind of basic, Okay, so the way I go about making my melodies is that I make sure that I have these three boxes checked off. Let me give you all this analogy and give it to you in these terms so that you can understand. The way I make melodies is that I imagine a scene, a movie scene, or an emotion that I'm trying to capture, a feeling that I'm trying to, for example, let's say you're making a movie. Your movie has to have let's say you're describing your movie has to have a character. Your character, in that sense, in this context of making melodies, will be your main melody, which is what? Your bass line. This is my main character. Bam, bam. I played it already. And then your main character has to be in a environment. Your main character has to have an environment, a place where he can act or where he can tell us or what he's doing. Your main character has to have an environment where he showcases what he's doing. So in this sense or in this context, you can add a pad or for example, I added this sound from Flex. Mostly I would add a sauna or a pad. I'll show you all on the next melody what do I mean when you add an environment. Let me play them both. This is how I make my melodies, guys. It might not make sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Your main character has to be in a place, in an environment. So this is my main character and the environment. In an environment. As you can hear, there's a emotion going on. The bass and the environment goes hand in hand. So now this is when you're gonna get more ideas. More ideas are gonna flow. Now you're gonna start adding some tension. You're gonna start you're gonna start making it more interesting. You're gonna start adding the action. You're gonna start adding the sauces, the spices. That's when you add more counter melodies. And there's one thing about Amapiano beats is that there's no limits to making this kind of beats. Like you can literally add 100 counter melodies, but I always suggest that your beat has to make sense. Add sounds where you feel like it's necessary, and I'm gonna show you all how you can add sounds and actually blend them in the beat, like so that they do not clash and so that they go hand in hand and they actually make sense. So as I was saying, I added this, start adding start building off of the main character and the environment. Start adding like details, as you can see, I added this tiny, like just playing this tiny plug, which makes a huge difference, like from this. And then when I edit, as you can see, there's so many tension, and you cannot stop there. You can literally add more. Like this is how simple this thing can be. As you can see now, like your character is starting to interact. A lot of things are happening now. Like build off of that. Like bro, make sure that you add pockets that you feel like there are empty. For example, this thing, if it was not here, this thing wouldn't have sound. Like there has to be some movement, dog. You can add more. Now you're actually telling us the story. Now ideas are flowing. Now you get an idea of what's happening. Your melody is starting to get to shape, to get form. You're getting something solid now. Now this is where you found the rhythm, you found the wave, you found the movement. And there's no limit. You can literally add a bunch of sounds, add a bunch of counter melodies. As you can see, it's a whole movie scene, bro. Like I could literally put that in Fast and the Furious. I can put that in Rambo 4. I can put that in SpongeBob. I can put that in regular show. I can literally put it anywhere, dog. Like it's a movie scene. So that's how I go about like making my melodies. I involve emotions. I involve it makes sense, bro. Like it actually musically makes sense, you know. And as you can see, it's just simple stuff, dog. Simple. So now I'm actually break down on how like you can blend in all the sounds that you make, because sometimes you might try and add a sound. For example, let me show you an example. Let's say I want to add a sound. Okay, now I'm gonna add this melody and let me remove the effect. that's what I wanted to add. And as you can hear, guys, it's just simple stuff, guys. Like simple as stuff that goes along with the like it blends in, bro. So let me show you how you can make it actually tie in, like fit in the melody, because you can't just add a sound and play it like that. Like as you can see, it's like it's not matching or blending in with the melody. So I'm gonna show you how you can make your sounds blend in. So first let me copy. So the first step that I would do is I would first send it to a mixing chain, and I usually do this in all of my videos. Thing is, I usually skip this part because I feel like you guys already know, but I figured some of y'all don't actually know and like you actually need help. So what I would do is like okay, let's say I just entered this sound. Okay, so what I would do is I would browse through presets until I find a one that I feel like it fits, because now I have the pattern. I just need to find a nice sound that will actually blend in better, you know. Already the sound fits, but I feel like I can find another sounds that fits well. So what I would do is I would browse through sounds. Okay, there's it. Already I found one, but I think I already used the sound, so let's use another one. So guys, see, I found the sound which I like it. Guys, don't be afraid to look for sounds. Finding sounds is one of the, like discovering a sound that you actually like is one of the best things ever. So like, don't be afraid to look for sounds. Don't be afraid to browse through the whole plugin. That's how Mdu actually found a lock drum. He was just browsing through sounds until he came across the lock drum. So don't be afraid to look for sounds and try and find sounds that you know can help your beat sound unique. So look for sounds, and yeah. So next step, what I would do is I would click this thingy. Like it's a stereo separation thing here. I use it a lot. I don't know what it actually does, but it makes my sound good. So I'll click this button here and I'll turn my sound here. As you can see, all of my sounds are like this, or sometimes I'll turn it this way so that it could actually balanced out. But I usually do this part when I'm leveling my beats. Actually, like if you want me to do a video on how to level your beats and sharpen and so on, comment down below. I'll definitely do a video on how to level your beats and actually make them sound clean and yeah, whatever. So I would click on this button and then turn this knob all the way. It makes it like I already explained this in one of my previous videos, so I'm not gonna explain it again. So I would do this and then turn off the lows, remove the low end. Like this is what I would do every time, and then add flangers and then just move it and decrease nyan, and then decrease the volume a bit here. So as you can see, that's literally it, bro. Main character, atmosphere, environment, and environment/atmosphere. Like add a main character and then add an atmosphere. And then once you do that, believe me, you're gonna start hearing sounds in your brain. If you are talented, if you're not talented, and if you're not hearing those things, then leave music, quit music. It's not for you, my guy. Nah, I'm just kidding. But anyway, start with a bass and add an atmosphere or like. When I mean atmosphere, I mean something like a pad or like something that will like give, like that will be the bass Like this is how actually everything works out. Even this is how actually melodies are created. Even Calvin Momo does that. Even Kabza does that. Like everybody, bro. Believe me, I know. So baseline, start with your main. It's either if you starting with your chords, start with your chords. If you're starting with your uh baseline, start with your baseline, and then the second step, make sure it's environment. Put your character in an environment, and then sounds are gonna start popping in your head, and you next thing you know, you made a pretty cool melody. And one thing that the next thing, then like another thing is that practice. If you practice, you're obviously gonna get better. So yeah, moving on to the next, to the next, to the next thingy, to the next melody. Actually, I used the MIDI pad, a MIDI for this one, but actually the MIDI. Let me show you how the MIDI was sounding at first. Like they sound really good. And then I also like added a few notes. As you can see, I added a few notes, I added a few passing notes, and I also added this diminished chord over here, this one. So yeah, as you can see, there's a difference. But anyway, this chord is really good. But anyway, in this context, my main character is the chords, and my environment is the sauna. Guys, this is not music theory, so don't go telling people, hey, main character and environment. Like people are gonna laugh at you because they won't understand what it actually means. Like I just made this up, so I don't, like, it's just an analogy so that you can understand how I go about making my stuff. So this is my main character and this is my environment. Like as you can see, I have two, like this. Let me play on my environment. As you can see, it's like it gives you an emotion, like it sets the mood, it sets the tone, and then you have your main character coming in. So as you can see, I already set the mood, I already set the tone. So, and I also have a bass line. If you want, you can start the bass line with the bass line. As you can see, the bass is not blending in, so let me blend it in. Turn this thing on. What I like to add on my basses is this chorus. So one tip that I have is that when making chords, there are two characters. There's the wife and the husband. So, and they can be children as well. And so in that instant, that will mean that the chords, you can play them with two different, like with two or more, like presets or sounds. For example, I'm playing this one with the piano from Lounge Lizard, and also this grand piano. Like this will be the wife. Now it's time to add your action. Like that's a full on melody. Let me actually add a drum loop and you'll see how well it blends in. So guys, that is actually it, guys. If you found this video helpful, please comment down below and leave a like. More video ideas, and thank you for the request. I actually enjoyed making this video. And yeah, boys, if you want FOPs will be available in the membership. And shout out to the people who are joining the membership. I'm gonna be giving away my log drum stash preset updated version, because I have hella cool log drums. So yeah, and I'm gonna also, I don't know, like, tell me what you want, guys. I'll give you in the membership. If you're not a member, then don't even bother. So yeah, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. I love everybody. Cap. But hey, man, this was a cool video. This was a cool video. If you want more videos like this, I'll definitely do them if you want them. So yeah, with that being said, it's been NerdFnd and we out. Tango.